Catwoman is a Catwoman. Only mind-blowing facts are said on this channel. Few people know how many cats she has. I'm guessing like 6 at a minimum. My girlfriend has 2 cats, and if she started dressing like this, I bet she owned at least half a dozen. Today we're going to be ranking Catwoman LEGO minifigures. LEGO minifigures are cool, and it's cool to rank them from worst to best. Catwoman deserves to be ranked. Why? Catwoman is a villain, not so much haha anti-hero sometimes. She's basically like Spider-Man's Black Cat, even though Catwoman was first to come out. I don't know, Spider-Man has a better version of this character, despite being just a ripoff. At that point, is it even that shocking she's better than Catwoman? They just stole this character and went, oh, let's make Catwoman for Spider-Man, but better. To be fair, Catwoman is in the first Batman comic book, even predating the Joker, so it's pretty fair to say she is pretty integral to the concept of Batman as a whole. Although she looks absolutely different and goes by a different name, it counts! If you saw Killer Clown Man in the Batman Detective Comics 1, you'd be like, I see, it's the Joker, yes. Catwoman has had many LEGO minifigures since she's been there since the beginning in this cheap set, so it's always been pretty available for cheap. She appears in every LEGO DC game, has been adapted into a live-action Batman movie 3 times, and even has her own terrible movie that'll one day be referenced in the multiverse for nostalgia. Ah yes, Deadpool and Wolverine. I remember the movie Elektra, as in, wow, they made a horrible Elektra movie with Jennifer Garner. She's also in Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Both terrible movies no one likes, and if you like it, genuinely consider yourself special. I'm not the biggest Daredevil fan. To be fair, I haven't watched the Netflix show, so that could change when I do. I basically have consumed no media of this character, except a few minutes in No Way Home, and the time he was in Old Man Logan. He dies in an arena as punishment for trying to overthrow the Kingpin. Long story short, he's not the good guy in this situation. Kinda. Old Man Logan is the definition of a morally gray world, but what do I know? I just read it this weekend. Either way, back on track to Catwoman. She has many minifigures. Let us rank them! Except the Duplo one because it's, poop. Leave a random off-topic comment in the comments and I'll pin the silliest one. I have a pin feature and I need to use it, and this is pretty funny. It's like a game of Cards Against Humanity. I will respond to every comment with whatever YouTube says I can do, so let's have fun. Also like and subscribe, I guess. On to the meat and potatoes of this video. Let's rank Catwoman minifigures. Man, I give the 60s Batman series so much credit and leeway when it comes to not looking like the rest of the minifigures. Most of the time it's because the design is genuinely good, distinct amongst the crowd, or just a fun piece of Batman history. Catwoman's design from the 60s show is just plain bad and I don't like it. Sure, it's unique amongst the crowd of Catwoman figures, but it just looks like a cheap Halloween costume. At least with Mr. Freeze you get a, what the fuck is this design? But in comparison to the rest of the minifigures, it stands out. Here, it stands out, but stands out for being bland and shitty, and not off the wall insane. Overall, it's very bland and boring. If you told me this was a Halloween minifigure of someone dressed like a cat, I'd be like, ah, cute. I'd never think about it ever again. Listen, LEGO, I get it. This mask design is very clunky and bulky, but guess what? LEGO is clunky and bulky by design. I don't know why they got rid of this mask and replaced it with face printing that looks like ass. Especially since this bulky design is pretty good and removing the white eyes with real eyes could definitely work. You already don't remove the mask because the face print usually looks like poo ass. I mean seriously, what is wrong with LEGO being bulky at times? Ah yes, the smooth texture of this tuxedo cat. Clearly, this is just as smooth as the real thing. I mean, yeah, this LEGO Yoda is clearly too far, but there is a happy medium. This one didn't find it, and it looks like poo ass. Overall, this design works for one minifigure, but for this specific version of the character, it looks pretty bad. And I wish they just made a gray mask mold instead, especially since the OG LEGO Batman designs were mostly based on the animated series anyways. Poo ass. What if we made a Catwoman minifigure that looked nothing like Catwoman? BAM! Wow! I almost didn't put this on the list since she's not named Catwoman. I genuinely almost forgot, and you guys wouldn't let me hear the end of it. With good reason, of course, but why is she not like Catwoman at all? In the movie, they gave her this odd beanie that's very vaguely cat-shaped. I like this design because a cat burglar is not going to put a lot of time into a distinct costume, and this is a nice compromise. To be fair, LEGO wouldn't make this into a hyper-specific mold to use once in a cheap set. It's not an excuse, but it's a reason. The reason this minifigure is in damn near last place is because it just doesn't look like Catwoman. Why isn't it last place then? I mean, It's still distinct, and it's movie accurate. But these ones are also accurate. Yes, but I just like this one better. I wish I could put into words, but this one's ugly, and this one's pooey, and this one's just not great. Could be better, but it also could be worse. Somehow. Overall, it's fine. Moving on. Listen, Lego Batman 1, you are an icon. You're a star, baby. But listen, I gotta be honest, this is aged like fucking milk, dude. I have technology from the 20th century that has aged better than this. I like the design for Catwoman in Lego Batman 1, but man, did they really outdo themselves constantly with this character moving forward. Doesn't help that most designs looked at this one as a template to improve upon. This one doesn't even deserve to be where it's at, but it's where it's at because all the rest on this list literally just copied this one's homework and fixed all of the mistakes. Man, if only they did this with Two-Face more than once. Then I'd be able to fry my fish balls in peace and quiet. But alas, the neighbors caught on to my schemes, and I can't. Overall, this one's in 6th place because it laid all the groundwork and got trampled by everyone else moving forward except for these two. Like Demon Souls with the rest of the Dark Souls franchise. Except for Dark Souls 2. I genuinely despise this game and especially hate anyone who argues with me and tries to convince me it's a good because, trust me, I'm on your side. I want to like this game too, but I just can't. What are we babbling about? Oh yeah, Catwoman. Mortal Kombat vs. DC introduced me to so much DC shit, and this design shaped my perception of this character for so long. I like her purple outfit. It looks nice, especially here. Speaking of purple, Lego Batman movie is a cinematic masterpiece, and if you disagree, you should try Russian roulette with a Glock. It's really fun. You should definitely go first though. Makes the game more fun. The Lego Batman movie made a bunch of iconic looks for Batman villains, and Catwoman is no exception. This version of Catwoman wears her iconic purple suit, and I'm very mixed on the whole purple suit thing. While it does benefit more fantastical Batman stories by having a more colorful design, separating itself from the more grounded stories like Batman's blue suit just doesn't hold a candle to the black suit. Cats are black, and so are bats. Why mix up the color for a funny color swap? Why stop at purple? Make her yellow, or red, or blue. Fuck it! Have an entire Power Rangers team of Catwomans. Cats aren't purple. If you saw a purple cat and didn't ask if it needed help, you are going straight to the bottom of hell. Next to Judas. Hope you're curious what bubblegum feels like while it's being chewed. Idiot. Overall, this is the unique color scheme for Catwoman out of all the minifigures. She's got green eyes and a purple suit. Purple and green go very well together if these two are anything to go by. Also, it's the only one that's black and has a prison jumpsuit version. What did LEGO mean by this? Speaking of minorities, midgets! Or dwarves as we call them now. Nah, just kidding, they like to be called dwarves though, but I'm talking about the Mighty Micros version of Catwoman. This is genuinely one of the best Mighty Micros characters because it just looks like a short Catwoman, and not like a crazy version drawn by a kid. I mean, I guess this goes to show my point earlier with Lego Batman 1's design. This one is not much better than it, but I do find it to be one of the best Catwoman minifigures because it has the black suit and the cowl hat thing. The torso printing is lacking, but like, what do you expect from the Mighty Micros? They are all super basic versions of torso printing deliberately. Also, I'll always maintain that adding regular legs to these minifigures is always morally justifiable and doesn't ruin the unique charm of the figure. Yeah, it's called Mighty Micros, but minifigures are small people already, so you're not really ruining anything. Overall, this is a fine addition to the Mighty Micros legacy. Mighty Micros need to return in 2025. If the world doesn't look like Black Ops 2 by the end of the year, that's fine, but where's my goddamn Mighty Micros, LEGO? Batman Returns is one of the greatest Christmas movies, I think. I know that people argue it's a Christmas movie in the same sense as Die Hard, but I always forget to watch it around Christmas, so I've just never seen it. However, 10 out of 10 design, this minifigure goes hard. I guess I have to explain why this is better than this. To put it simply, this costume wouldn't work with the regular mask she usually wears, and the face print doesn't try any funny nonsense. You see this one? The animated series design puts 2 color variants, giving a distinct border to her facial features, which is odd for a minifigure. Yeah, there isn't really a good way to do this design in LEGO, but it feels like they just completed the assignment with no care for how it looks. Batman Returns Catwoman is in a visibly skin-tight suit that's just one color with some stitching around the sides. This makes more sense with the face print design, since adding any bulkiness would distract from this design. Wouldn't the animated series one detract as well with the added bulk? Perhaps, and thank you for making a good counter-argument, straw man I made up. This one just looks ugly, while this one looks nice. This one reminds me of the balaclava look the old stormtroopers have, which kinda makes sense, but it just doesn't sit right. Honestly, this design looks right, while this one doesn't. I can't exactly put my finger on why this one is off, but I'm just not that big of a fan. Overall, this design is really good, and I like it. The stitching around the printing is really nice, and like that it fits the on-screen version very well. LEGO Batman 2 is an absolute banger. It's literally the LEGO Batman 1 design, but better. LEGO Batman 2 basically just upgraded a bunch of designs between games, and it works perfectly. I don't have much to say here. It's an amazing minifigure, and immediately what I think of when I think of LEGO Catwoman. However, it's not at number 1, so it's best we move on to our top spot because they are both pretty similar. Coming in first place is the other LEGO Batman 2 Catwoman that has nothing to do with LEGO Batman 2. Bricklink does this a lot, and I don't get it. Why label things wrong for the sake of keeping it in a Batman tab? I digress. Why is this in first place? Simple. It's the best design. Why? It's sleek, got the classic Catwoman design of the cowl with nice printing and red goggles for a bit of color, and the face printing has the balaclava look to it that gives it the extra charm with the full mask. Honestly, it's going to be really hard to top this. It's simple yet perfect with the leather jacket look and the red goggles. I'm pretty sure LEGO will surpass it, but for now this is peak Catwoman. A perfect amalgamation of everything that came before it. Overall, this is number 1. The range of Catwoman designs is pretty solid and consistent. Although this may be first, I can see the top 5 mixed interchangeably and still agree with the rankings. Except putting this in first. What's wrong with you? This video is done, and you can click on another one now. Before you do that, hit that like and subscribe for more minifigure rankings in the future. Bye bye!